South Africans. And that, hey man, that broke them down. That was the actual breakdown. That's what broke the back. Sanctions helped a little, but they broke the back of South Africa. The Cubans, 65% of the Cuban troops was black, maybe more. Okay. Counter distractions. What we're doing now, I want you to understand what we're doing. We're doing what we have been doing. But we're saying right now that we're going to demand that people keep score of what we're saying now. Keep historical accounts of what we're saying now. Because we're saying what we're saying now based on the way the world has been traveling, the cycles of the earth. All right. Counter distractions. Tried and trusted counter diversionary acts. In other words, we're countering their actions to divert the public. They're doing what they're doing to divert the people, to divert the media, to divert all their minds off all their failures. But they're not diverting them, they're highlighting their failures. And we're pointing it out to them. So they can pay attention. They don't have to. We don't care because we're not in this publicity. But we're keeping record. And remember, I don't know, y'all been to school more than I have. If you get a 90 or above, you get an A, maybe a A minus or something if it's 90.
Sometimes it's an A minus, but typically in the university it's an A.
It's an A. That's so what we said here is on the thing. If we got 9 points or 10 points out of what we said, and we hit 9 of them, that means we got an A. If they did Abu Ghraib, if they got kicked out of Iraq, right? If they got kicked out of Afghanistan, and then when they get kicked out, they keep all the money so the people are starved to death, right? If that's right, if our people, if Hezbollah has suffered and survived all their points, right? If Hezbollah refused to go to war with the Phalange, it's only 2 months ago, those people that killed Hezbollah, and they refused, just like we refused. We refused to fight niggas. Do you realize how supportive, they don't know they're supporting our position, but we're using them to show the world, because they may not believe us. We say, look at them. Look at what they did. They did same thing we did here. They could knock them boys out of the box. They ain't touching them. Because they doing just like something is going around. Something is going around. In Yemen, their allies can slaughter anybody they want to, and it's okay. The Zionists can destroy Isminti. They just killed the other day a 14-year-old boy, right? And it's normal. In other words, their allies can do anything they want. That's what we're pointing out. That's what we're pointing out. And if anything we say is correct, right, then that's going on our list. We've been correct, da-da-da-da-da. And if they can prove something is incorrect, well, we want to see it. But when the people hear what they say, see, remember now, they're saying this is the original charge of the Light Brigade. This is not the end of it. See, remember when they first started talking a few days ago? It sounded like one thing, and now the sound is changing. Well, by the end of this cycle, it's going to be really have changed. And you know who's going to be stupid? America. You know who's going to look like a clown? You know who's getting no benefit out of this? Remember, in a war, da-da-da-da, I remember Bush did something that went up to 81 points. Everybody getting, that ain't happening. That ain't happening. Because people know in their heart, they remember in Ukraine, didn't I see, wasn't what is the old man's name, son, wasn't he getting some money from over there or something? Yeah, all of that.
The alternative media is like a counterbalance.
Right. Hey, man, there's so much information now. But let them, see, you got to let them go. Let them run, because they just going to run it. They're going to want to, thinking everybody going to listen to them. Right? But the people are not listening to them anymore. Because the people know that they're lying. They can see that life is not better. They can see their children going to school, got to come out of college with let's say $100,000. I don't even know how it's possible. $100,000 in debt and no job to go to that's worth anything. The job paid $10, well, $30 an hour, and you got to pay back $100,000. You'll be 100,000 years trying to pay that back, right? And look at this great American story. They don't look at themselves. They don't pull out a mirror. California has already fallen off into the ocean. I mean, it might as well. It would do better. If it fell off in the ocean, it would be better. If you just sent the people a message, said, look here, y'all move away from the ocean because of sickness. Then it would be better, right? That all that would fall into the ocean. It would be better than to be like it is. Have anybody seen any videos of California? It's unbelievable. And this is so-called America. What we're trying to say is the people, they don't have a mirror to look into. They don't have a historical mirror. They don't have a rearview mirror. They don't have no big windshield to look out of. They looking into their own, they're spinning their own self. They're spinning their own brains. They're not even looking. So technically, there's no way out. There's no way out for America. And Ukraine, well, the guy, he knew a lot about politics. He was a comedian, that president. He was a comedian, so, I mean, and he's acting like one. A Yahudi comedian. Right, and he's the president. Right? So you can't expect him, and him with them Zionist advisors and everybody telling them, you're going to do this. And hey, man, anyway, everything we do is tried and tested. I'm going to speed up. Wear them down, dumb them down. But we use the method of yakin in our method of certainty. It has to be, let's call it real. So the other day they said they was going to send $300 million worth of weapons. And if they did, they probably just dump them in the ocean because the Russians are not going to let them, all of them, Germany, everybody going to send some stuff to, well, who they going to send it to? Because the Russians are going to be in every spot, and they done already blew up every time a train came in. They blow it up. You know what I mean? Talking about chaos, they just hand out weapons, and half the people that's in the staff shooting each other. They shooting each other. They ain't got no signals. They ain't got no passwords.
That does sound like a setup. You mean you're going to hand out guns to civilians? Right. And you're going to tell them to go fight an armed force? Right. Stupid. No training. No training. No communication. No radio. That is insane. Weapons.
No, that's what I'm trying to say. I'm saying the same thing. It's insanity. It's a charge of the Light Brigade. It's making a move without paying attention to anything. just ignorance and arrogance, charging down the road, right? You're not paying no attention that this is not 91 and 92. They have internets now. So internet is mixed with truth and falsehood. So you're going to get some of both. You're going to get some of both. Right? So if you get any little bit of truth, though, it's going to be like Kool-Aid. You take one little spoonful of Kool-Aid and it'll turn the whole thing orange. You have a whole picture, right? So when they get that little bit of truth and they mix it with water, hey, man, it's going to be so powerful that they're going to look up and say, somebody's lying to us about everything. Anyway, we'll see where we are. 300 million my behind. If it's 300 million, who gonna get the profit anyway? The doggone arms industry.
Over a year, they said in a year, Ukraine has received $1 billion in a year in I guess, aid and weapons.
Mm-hmm.
And then they wonder why, Putin doing what he do.
No, hey man, you pay attention to RT and the other people. They didn't try to take RT out. Anyway, look, man, the information is that half the people in Crimea then surrendered and they get to keep their weapons because now they're going to fight with the. After all, hell, they're Russian. Most of the people in that part is Russians. And they said the people are mad in Russia. The people in Russia ain't mad. The people here was mad. 35 million people around the world stood up on March 3rd, 2003, to be against that invasion. 35 million, I think it really was 45 million people worldwide. And it didn't have no effect on the dummy. He went anyway. And here, if they have 5 people out there, they have 5, these Ukrainians. One of the ladies searched my stuff when I came back. When I came back one time, they have a table full of pamphlets, and so they have them in Spanish, English, and they have them in different subjects. They have them in Russian, and so the lady was searching. My stuff had a deep accent, and I hadn't paid no attention because the American one and the Russian one was the same color. They was both kind of red. When I came back, she said, "This is Russian." I didn't say, "Oh, it's Russian," because they looked the same. Because I took a whole stack and I took part of another stack, and so I said, "This lady got an accent." So now I'm assuming she had a Russian accent, but she was from Ukraine. And the conversation was like, well, somebody has to run the world and manage it. I said, well, we sure don't want this team to be doing it. I said, you done got here and got hooked up, and you want that team to win. I said, the same way them people treat y'all over there. I said, what the hell do you think they do with us here? They got you right here. Why are you here? What are you doing? Why am I here for 4 hours? Why am I here for 4 hours? What are you doing? Right? That's them. Right? So if it's Russians for you, hell, shoot, they treating you good compared to us. They wasn't lynching y'all and burning you. This boy over here. Anyway, redirect world attention. That's the whole thing they're trying to do. Redirect the world attention from losing America, running out of Afghanistan, leaving the people behind. They trying to clean it up now. It's too late. They already got a reputation for leaving people behind. They done already killed 7 children, probably more, but they said 7 children and 3 adults, shooting a missile. And the people that they shot was there. It's insanity. You look, you couldn't write this if you was writing a revolutionary script for how we're gonna, you know what I mean, evolve and take power from the people. You would be too busy laughing. You read the script, it sounds like a comedy strip, right? Tell the truth. It's like ain't no enemy gonna act like this guy. He's handing everything away. Well, when he get beat all around the eyes, he can't breathe, his nose is puffed up, right? He don't have senses. People don't realize that that's